Hey guys, Rob from Topside Studios and welcome to Devlog number 6. Okay, so jumping straight into Unity, I'll go over what I've done since the last devlog. I mean, it was only a day ago, but I'm still trying to commit to the twice a week devlog, even if not as much is done. So, minor upgrades this time. I know the last video was quite long on the key binding, so we're going to try and do a bit of a shorter episode now. So the options are still the same, the level select's still the same. The main things I've changed are a bit to do with level 1 and a couple little scripts just to help that level, a little bit of lighting, a couple sprite changes. So let's just jump straight into level 1 and I'll show you what I've changed. So the main thing you should notice first are these moving platforms. So these just run with a little script that updates their position, and I'll show you those in a minute. But as you can see, you jump on them, jump off them. They work pretty well, pretty smooth. I threw a light on there just so you can see where you're going. If we run all the way to the right over here, you'll see there's a horizontal version of it that doesn't have a light on. So I should probably add a light to that. But that works the exact same as the other one, just in a horizontal fashion. So these are actually extremely easy to make, and I'll go over the script in a second. If we jump back into the level though, you'll see I've updated the lamp texture and changed a little bit of the lighting. I have that light coming down on when you spawn now. And I added a new type of light, just kind of a wall light, just to add a little bit more light to the scene. Still not very particularly happy with the whole lighting of the scene, but I'm working on it, and it is more there just so you can see at the moment, just a bit of a proof of concept. So just jumping straight into the script here, super simple. It just updates the position of the platform depending on if it's above, below, or depending on certain parameters. So firstly, the script will check if upwards is true. Now if upwards is true, the platform should be moving up. That's default, so it updates the position. So it just pulls the transform, translates it to the vector2.up times the movement speed times time.delta time. So that's all pretty simple. And then within that, there's an if statement to check if you've gone beyond the maximum height. Now, if you've gone beyond the maximum height, it will then set upwards to false, which will jump down to the second if statement, which will do the same transform update, but it will have -1 on the end, so it will start moving down, with the inner if statement this time checking to see if it's beyond the lower parameters, or the minimum height. So this code below that I'll quickly delete and show you what happens is absolutely amazing. Essentially it works through putting the player as a child of the platform, but only when you're within the platform using colliders. A big problem I had was the platform not updating at the same rate as the player, or something weird to do with the different gravity, and the player would full bounce, as you can see in the gameplay, and the faster you want the platform to move, the more prominent it is. So this fixes that, I guess, by just updating the player's position alongside the platform. It moves them both together, which works amazingly and just solves all my problems. I found this on a forum, this fix, so I'll link that down below. So this allows that really smooth downwards platform motion, whereas beforehand it was super jittery. So as you can see in the code real quick here, the way it does this is through setting the object with the player tag, player, as the child of the platform, or more accurately it sets the platform to the parent of the player when entering the collision box that I've set up above the platform. When exiting that, it does the opposite and sets the parent to null, which essentially just sets the player to its own parent. So by using this method, you can get the platform to move extremely quickly and have some really good fun with this, whilst also keeping the player accurate and having the movement move properly. The problems before I had were the player falling through the platform, which was not good. As you can see here, you can crank it right up and the player moves perfectly how you want it to. So realistically, that just about wraps it up for this video. A bit of an art upgrade, a bit of making these platforms, and just a little bit of scripting for that. I wanted to get to effectors this week and have like bounce pads and the ability to jump upwards 3 platforms and then fall down to land on them, and then potentially a key to drop down them. But I just haven't had the time this week to get into that. The plan is to get that done over the weekend, and then I've got a plan for the start of next week, building up to the Wednesday episode. So the Wednesday episode is likely to be a big one, covering the stuff that I was unable to get to this week. And then hopefully Wednesday to Friday next week, I'll be able to actually implement the movement that I want in my game, start to build out what I actually want the game to be, and not just this generic 2D platformer. I also need to redraw this background, or I say redraw, I didn't draw this in the first place, I pulled this art. I've had it since I started. It was in one of my assets folders. I can't remember where it's from. I don't know if it's unlicensed or what, so I can't use this in the final game. So I'm planning on creating my own background, maybe putting in windows, making this kind of like an old castle, maybe put some stone in. So should be big upgrades next week, so look forward to that, and I'll catch you on Wednesday.